All right, first and foremost, give all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Kakodash, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well and who is worthy to be counted for double honors, and peace and salutation to you brothers out there pushing this truth wholeheartedly and sincerely and for love of the gospel. It's a brother Gabaria from the Indiana camp, coming to get one of the sit down to basically talk about, it's time to put you, I was going to name it black women, but I'm going to just say women in general. It's time to put you women back in your place, all right? So, as the title of the video announced, man, basically, in this kingdom that we live in right now, whether you live in America, United Kingdom, wherever you live out on planet Earth, you see women's lib or women's liberation or feminine movements or all these different movements that uplift the woman is pushed heavily in the world, all right? Where you even have it in other countries that the woman doesn't have as many rights as the man, that women are starting to get the big-headed, all right? One place I'm thinking about right now is in Iran, or is Iraq, one of them. But I think it was a woman got put to death because she didn't want to wear the head covering, and she got thrown in jail, and then she eventually got put to death for it, and just so, all right? Because the scripture talks about how a woman should have her head covered, all right? But it just shows you that the vibration in this world right now is the women has as much as equal rights to men. All right. And that's not how the scriptures is broken down as, man. All right. The Lord did give you rights. The Lord did give you rights especially as an Israelite. You do have rights, but you don't have as many rights as the man. All right. For example, when you were to be married, you don't pick the person that you marrying. You either get betrothed or your husband. Or it's like not your husband. Your father, he picks. All right. So, for example, say that I have a daughter and I'm real close with one of my friends and he has a son. All right. And his son is around the same age as around my daughter. Or if not, his son might be a little older than my daughter. All right. When it's time for her to become a marriageable age, by the time she gets her flower, her menstrual cycle, when it's time around that time, she will be betrothed or she will be wifed to that man's son. All right. So that's how basically arrangements and that's how marriages will set up. All right. That's how basically a woman was promised to a man. All right. Or, for example, let's say she wasn't betrothed. Let's say she grew up with her father and she's of a marriable age. She just hasn't got marriage yet. He hasn't betrothed to nowhere. Let's say he needs the help and he doesn't want to put her off right now. Let's for example, let's just put it like that. And a man comes to him and say, hey, hey, I want to marry your daughter. Are you basically selling her? And he would say yes, or he would just say no, and then that man, if he said, oh yeah, yes, and then they'll come up with a dowry, and then that man would give money for that man's daughter. All right, that's how a woman was wife back in that. We didn't have the woman would go out and see a cute guy, and he'll buy her some drinks, or he'll take her out on a couple of dates, and get, he'll eventually get a number. He'll talk to her for a month or two, and then he'll end up getting the draws, and then he'll become a wife. No, that wasn't in the kingdom, man. All right, that's not gonna be in the kingdom, and that's not how things was run back then. All right, things was run like the man, the husband. I keep saying husband. The father of the house seen a guy that he wanted his daughter to be married to, and that man paid that man's with money and gave that man his daughter. That's how things ran, man. All right, and you women got it. Where, matter of fact, that's the reason why you got so many single women, all right? Or you got so many, single baby mamas or now when I say single women, I'm not talking about the single that ain't got no kids. I'm talking about the ones with kids. I'm not even talking about one kid. I'm talking about 2, 3, 4, 5 kids, with no man in the house. Because this is the product of a woman choosing the type of dude she wants to deal with, all right? She'll choose little pookies, the ones that selling up on the corner, that ghetto, that shoot up and smoke up drugs all day and drinking. She chooses these type of men and be like, yeah, I want a baby by this guy type of guy. And then when he shows that he ain't shit and he end up leaving the bitch, then what? Then she wants to talk about, oh, men ain't shit. No, look at the type of dudes you choose it. See, that's why the man, it was his responsibility to choose what husband that she was going to get married to, because a man can see what type of man another man is. Just by looking him in his eyes, just by showing his countenance, just by showing his just by way a man the way he conducts himself, man. All right. Matter of fact, the girl that I'm with right now, man, when she invited me to her parents, her father fucking fell in love with me, man. Her father fell in love with me. He always asking me every time get together. she's telling me that my girl's telling me that she said, yeah, my father wants you to come by. My father wants you to come by. And every time we over there, if something, we'll be watching the news or something, or we'll be watching TV or something. He'll always ask me my opinion on it. He says, hey, what you think about this? You know, he's always asking me, he's saying, what you think about this and what you think about that? And he always be picking my brain, you know, and he always asking me to come over, you know, because he can see that he's, hey man, this guy's on his shit. Because when I started talking to him, you know, when we was having conversations, I was actually holding a conversation. We was talking about credit. We was talking about world events. We was talking about things in the world. We was basically showing our point of views on certain things, and that's how a man can see. But what if I was on bullshit? If I was a drug smoking, dread wearing, a GMO baby, as Apostle Kai always call him. If I was a GMO baby, he'd have seen right through that. He'd be like, yeah, nah, man. Hey, he'd have told his daughter, hey, man, hey. He would have had the power to tell his daughter, hey, don't talk to this guy. But if he was back in the ancient world, he'd have told his daughter, like, nah, man, hey, go on about your business. You're not marrying my daughter. Or you're not getting with my daughter. But now, since we live in this day and age, you basically got to give advice to your daughter. Hey, listen, you know, watch that guy. You know, he seemed like he ain't no good. You know, watch him. If I was you, I'd get rid of him. You know, get rid of him and find somebody else, because he ain't no good. You know. But if we was back in the ancient world, the father would have told that dude to go ahead and keep it pushing, because he know he ain't about no good, man. But get back on topic at hand, man. Basically, it's coming a time for you women to get put back in place. All right, and how is that going to be happening, man? As thus says the scripture says, I'm gonna get a couple of scriptures proving that you women are going to be put back in place, and this is how your rightful order to be. You're going to be put back where you're supposed to be at. A woman is not supposed to be up over a man, telling a man what to do. All right. Or telling a man how he should be. Well, a real man and a real man this and a real man that. And I'm not saying none of this because women will go, oh, you sound like a hurt man. Who hurt your feelings? No, this is what the scriptures say, man. This is what the scriptures say you should be. All right. So everything I'm saying, I'm not coming out my ass. I'm not just coming out because a woman hurt me and because I got into it with a girl and she said no. This is everything. That's everything I'm saying. Thus said the scriptures, man. All right. So without further ado, we're going to hop straight to this. 1 Corinthians chapter 14 and verse 34. It says, let your women learn. It says, let your woman keep silent in the church. See, they should keep silent, which means what? They shouldn't be saying shit. They shouldn't be saying a goddamn thing, man. It says, for it is not permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience. Obedience, see, that obedience to obey, that's a woman's nightmare. That's how you know it's a demon on these women, man. That's her fucking nightmare. She can't fathom to be obedient to a man. She looks at it like that's the most degradingest thing in the world. To be submissive up under a man, that's which nature itself shows you. Nature itself shows you that the woman is the caretaker and the nurturer, and the man is the provider and the protector. Who doesn't fear a man? When you go into the house, you think I'm fearing a woman? You think I'm worried about what a woman's going to do? No, I'm worried about if it's a dude in the house. I'm worried about if it's a man in there, because a man can only give another man's a challenge. And I don't care what muscle structure it has. You could have a man that's the fucking Rodney Coleman, and another guy that's Bruce Lee. That man can still give that man a challenge. But for a woman, matter of fact, it was a video I had seen. It was a video that I had seen. It was a few months ago, where it was a professional UFC a woman, or a professional wrestler woman. She was a professional. She was a professional at this. This was her job. She was wrestling against an unexperienced, and I think a younger. I think she was like in her like mid to high 20s, maybe in her 30s. And this guy was like maybe 24, 25, maybe even younger than that. And she was wrestling him. She was trying her most to get this guy on the floor. He's sitting here with a smile on his face, just playing with her. Like she grappling him, trying to throw him down to the ground. He's smiling like, oh no, come on now, you know. He fell laughing and shit. He got right back up, you know. Basically, you can see this dude is completely toying with this woman, man. And this is what she do for a living. She's a professional. She's trying her most trying to get this dude on the ground. She couldn't even get him. He's an unexperienced, just some fly by Joe. And this is it. This is her job, and she can't get him on the ground. That just shows you the type of power structure we're living in, man. Another one, man, it was a professional. They were both professionals, but it was a professional arm wrestling man and a professional arm wrestling woman. She was trying her utmost best to try to at least budge his arm. And he's looking so unimpressed, so demotivated, just so like this was just child's play with him. He even let her get like really